In this video, we're going to build a simple gravity simulation using Pygame. We'll start with the basic setup, add a ball that falls with gravity, and make it bounce around the screen. Let's jump in. First, you need to make sure that you have Pygame installed. To install it, simply type pip install Pygame into your terminal and hit enter. Then create a new Python file and open it. Before we get into implementing gravity, let me quickly walk you through my simple Pygame setup. First, we import the Pygame library and initialize it with pygame.init. This gets everything ready for the game to run. Next, we set up the window size with a width of 800 pixels and a height of 600 pixels. Then we create the game window using pygame.display.setMode and give it a title using setCaption. We also set up a clock using pygame.time.clock so that we can control the frame rate. In this case, we want the game to run at 60 frames per second. Then we have the main game loop. This loop keeps running until we close the window. Inside of the loop, we check for events like quitting the game. If the user clicks the close button, we set running to false, which stops the loop. Every frame we clear the screen by filling it with black using screen.fill000. This makes sure that we don't draw over the previous frame. This is also where we'll add all of our game logic and drawing code later on. At the end of each frame, we update the display with pygame.display.flip to show what's been drawn. And finally, we limit the frame rate to 60 FPS using clock.tick.fps. When the loop ends, we call pygame.quit to cleanly close everything. Now that we've got this basic game loop set up, we're ready to start adding gravity. First, let's create a ball and draw it in the scene. I'm using an image from one of the Kenney asset packs, which I've linked in the description. First, we need to load the image. We do this using pygame.image.load, given the path to your image. Next, we get its rectangle using getRect. This rectangle will help us position and move the ball on the screen. Next, we set the ball's initial position to the center of the screen by assigning rect.center to the middle point of the screen dimensions. In the main game loop, I added one new thing. Instead of just filling the screen, I now also draw the ball using screen.blit, given the ball variable and the rect variable. This takes the ball image and places it at a position defined by the rectangle. I also changed the background color to white to make everything a bit easier to see. Here's what the scene looks like now. Next, we create a 2D vector called velocity using pygame.math.vector2. This will keep track of how fast the ball is moving, both horizontally and vertically. Inside of the game loop, we need to update the velocity by adding a small value to the y component. This simulates gravity pulling the ball downward over time. The value you choose to add will be the acceleration of the ball. Then we apply that velocity to the ball's position by adding it to the rectangle's center with a rect.center plus equals velocity. This means the ball will gradually fall faster and faster, just like real gravity. We can see, however, that the ball currently just falls off the screen. To change this, let's make the ball bounce. For this, we'll add a simple collision check. We ask, is the bottom of the ball going below the bottom of the screen? We do that with if rect.bottom is greater than screen height. If it is, we reverse the vertical velocity by multiplying it by -1, using velocity.y multiply equals -1. This flips the direction, making the ball bounce back up. Now we have a simple demonstration of gravity, but to make things a bit more interesting, let's also make the ball bounce from side to side. To do that, we start by giving the ball an initial horizontal velocity. Instead of starting with 0, 0, we change the velocity vector to 5, 0. This means the ball starts moving to the right. The problem is that the ball will currently just bounce off the screen to the right. To fix this, we add a new condition. If the ball hits the left or right edge of the screen, meaning rect.left is less than 0, or rect.right is greater than the width of the screen, we reverse the horizontal velocity with the velocity.x multiply equals -1. This causes the ball to bounce off the walls horizontally, while gravity continues to act on it vertically. With this, the ball now moves around the screen, bouncing on all sides, like a real object in a 2D world. And that's it. We have built a simple gravity simulation in Pygame, complete with bouncing and movement. From here, you can keep experimenting. Try adding friction, make the ball respond to user input, or even add platforms and obstacles. If you found this helpful, feel free to like the video and subscribe for more programming tutorials. Thanks for watching and happy coding!